I deal with a lot of clients, and I've come down to synthesizing four main problems in every single business. It's the same, it doesn't matter the size of the business, same core problems. The number one problem, what I call a business killer, is aimlessness, so a lack of direction. In this instance, it might be something like the leaders having differences of opinion on what's a priority or what to do, or not even having priorities, or just sort of reacting to things, to new opportunities. Chasing mice would be the analogy if I were a lion. We want to stop that. We want to stop the aimlessness. And the secret to that is box number 2 here, which is alignment. We want to align everybody so we're going the same direction, same mission, same vision, same understanding. It's going to help a lot. So that's at a foundational philosophical level. If we can get these two things dialed in, you're going to have a really great place to start. The next thing, which is super simple to resolve, is this box, dead ends. What should I not be doing? So things like, what kind of employees should I not hire? That's a good one. What about, I won't work in that neighborhood because it's too far away and I don't want to be doing estimates all over town. The dead ends, if we can get rid of that, or we're not going to work for builders who don't pay us, right? You can have all kinds of work, but if you don't get paid, what's the point? So what are we not going to do? And so for the first one, the solution is alignment. For the second one, it's standardization, right? Standards. What are our standards? What are we doing? What are we not doing? Super simple, and this will make a huge difference in your business. Most companies have poor standards, poor start times, poor clock-in procedures for timekeeping. It's incredible how many companies have poor standards. Well, this is policies and procedures. And if you have a great company, you don't even need them written down because the culture is, this is just how we run. It's awesome. So we want to get this down. The next thing we have in business is gaps, right? So what are missing? Is it a person? Is it some sort of technology that's going to allow us to communicate better? What's missing? We have to fill those gaps. It could be people. We're missing a person, a talent, a skill set. We're missing equipment. So we're missing some tool that's going to create multiples of productivity for our staff, yet we're trying to save money with labor and not either rent the piece of equipment, lease it, or buy it. So these gaps, if you fill these gaps, all of a sudden you have a very robust business. And the solution to that is integration. So we have to integrate these technologies or these equipment or these amazing people into our business, and it's going to run way better. The last box, which is the real magic to really making a business really wonderful to work at, is if you can eliminate loops. So the solution to eliminating loops is automation. And I'll give you the best example I can think of that I see quite commonly is timekeeping. So people use paper timesheets for timekeeping, and there's so many reasons why that's not great. 1, you can cheat. 2, you probably will lose the timesheet. 3, you might not be able to read the writing. 4, you might have made a clerical mistake. 5, you've got to hand it into the office. 6, you've got to get somebody to take that data and then enter it into a computer to do payroll. That's a lot of steps. Wouldn't it be easier if you just had a timekeeping app where you could just clock into the job, clock the people in, clock into the work areas, and everything's done one shot, straight to the accounting department, and by the way, that's going to integrate with operations. So on the operations side, we're going to say, hey, we estimated this many hours for the job. We're on or over or under budget, right? So this starts to integrate and automate your business. Now you have real data in real time and your business improves exponentially faster. The other key thing too is if you automate, you need less people, right? You need less people to manage things. So I'm a big believer in automation. Yes, there's an upfront cost or there might be a monthly carrying cost. But believe me, spending $15,000 on software is a lot cheaper than the mistakes you're going to make, the frustration you're going to create, and all the other problems that go along with having people instead of technology. So less better people in administration is automation, which equals profit. Because your net profit's going to be higher because your overhead's going to be lower. Technology always beats people. Now we have AI, which is a wonderful tool, for example. That's just another extension of automation, right? That's a force multiplier in terms of intelligence. And this is the magic. So we want to get away from business killers and we want to move to the antidote, which is essentially alignment, standardization, integration, automation. This will give you the landscape business that you always dreamed of. So the other interesting thing is if I dial into aimlessness, believe it or not, this is quite interesting because this can happen at any time in your business. I have examples of business partners that are not aligned. They have what I call a vertical stack, which is a hierarchical stack of roles and responsibilities, but it doesn't actually address what really needs to be done and what hats each person wears in the business. When you have a smaller business, you have to wear a lot of hats. It's just there's not enough people to wear all the hats. CEO, general manager, chief operating officer, chief technology officer, chief financial officer, chief human resources officer. So there's a whole bunch of hats and you're sharing hats, right? So imagine that you're not aligned on that front and somebody has a power grab. They want the power. The problem is that power is an interesting dynamic. So the way power works is you've got command and control. So if I want to command but I have no control, it doesn't work. So that's why this alignment is so important. And if you can get this alignment organized, then you're going to have very low aimlessness, and then you're going to be going where you want to go a heck of a lot faster. The other interesting thing about this part of the business is sometimes you need to improve the business and you need to have somebody who's an implementer. So implementers, we have a title for Chief Kaizen Officer, which is essentially Chief Improvement Officer. So that person is responsible for making the business better. They're going to be making sure that the dead ends are gone, these gaps, so in other words, the things that are missing, technology is missing, and that the integrations and automations happen so there's less people doing the same amount of work with less frustration, right? So it all starts with this aimlessness. It's box number one. If we can resolve that, as I do with many of my clients, get somebody who's focused on implementation and integration, then you're going to end up with a way better business. So that's box number one. That's a typical example that I see of things not going well. Now, ironically, once you resolve this aimless piece, right, then you can figure out what you're not going to do, right? So what are our, like, we will not do this, right? We can do these things, but we will not do those things. Those are rules, standards, regulations, policies, and procedures. Somebody has to create those, implement those, train those. If we've got that dialed in, we're going to have a wicked culture in your business. And there's some magic there. If we can fill the gaps, then everything gets done a heck of a lot faster. So gaps are things like missing technology, missing people, missing information. There's a whole litany of things in the gaps. And again, if we have that Chief Improvement Officer focusing on these standards and then integrating the solutions using technology, we're going to have a business that just rocks. So we can't run businesses like we did in the old days. Unless you have a mom and pop business and that's sort of where you want to be. If you want to grow your business, you've got to do this. Oftentimes with clients, they bring me in because I've got a lot of experience essentially cleaning this up and then making this happen. So we create this system for the business to run off of, right? Enterprise operating system. That's the standard name for a business that essentially has all their ducks lined up in a row. And we can help businesses really dial in and work in this blue box rather than the red box. So at KTC, we essentially make sure that we get clients to get out of this box, which is the business killers box, and into the antidotes and solutions box. The way we do that is, first of all, we advise clients on what they should do and what they shouldn't do based on the profitability of the business, the ease of the work that they're going to do. We look at people. We assess the people, whether they're builders or destroyers. We look at the equipment to see whether it's optimized, whether there's waste in the business. We work really hard on getting out of this box and focusing on this box. And then we identify the people in the company who can help the company get to this sort of turnkey state where you're in the antidote box. And this is positivity. This is negativity. The culture in this business, when these problems exist, is negative. The culture in this business is we can do anything. And in this box, this is where the rewards happen. If you get this dialed in, profits go up, staff turnover goes down, and quality of life improves, and the staff's pay goes up, which means turnover goes down. So this is the magic box. If you're anywhere in this box, you've just got problems. Even if you have 1, 2, 3 solved, doesn't matter. This is going to be a culture killer. You can't have people having to do the same things over and over again unnecessarily. It's extremely frustrating. You want to do it once, get it right, have it connect with everything, check the data, get the metrics, and move on to the next project. For those of you that see yourselves in this box, just reach out to me and I can give you a free quote and let you know what it's going to cost to get your business on that journey of success. Let's work in box 2.